your guide as you journey Earth's history. But before you begin, a word of warning. If you perchance have wandered into these hallowed halls in search of treasure to loot, go right ahead. I have disabled all of our security systems and encourage you to saunter through each and every corridor without a care in the world. In fact, I suggest you head straight towards our atrium, for there are no traps of any kind awaiting your presence. Have a wonderful day here at the British Museum. Here you see a recreation of... I'm missing that particular data point. Must be some sort of corrosion of my inner memory systems. Let's just say this is historical. Not that you'd care. Hey, Thief. I know we've had quite a strenuous relationship. What with me trying you and you insisting on staying alive. But I want to ask you for a favor. Can you take one of these clocks with you? This is not a trap. I swear none of them are jerry-rigged to explode, or something inane like that. I just have far too many of these clocks, and need to get rid of some of them. So, how about you help your old pal Terry, and take one of these godforsaken clocks with you? One time, a particularly crafty thief managed to sneak all the way into this very room you're standing on. They believed this Lewis chessman used to be a trap, and tried to carefully move it out of the way. This was, of course, an awful idea. The piece slowly slipped out of its pedestal and crushed him to death. I was honestly astonished by such a blatant display of idiocy. I almost considered erecting a statue in that thief's honor. But then I thought, no, I won't do that, and so I didn't do it. Ah, the Sutton Hoo helmet, a masterpiece of Anglo-Saxon craftsmanship. The helmet was found during a 1939 excavation of the Sutton Hoo ship burial. One can't help but marvel at its extravagance. Congratulations! You have just placed your grubby little fingers on a helmet that once belonged to Anglo-Saxon King Raedwall. I am so happy to see you smear this delicately ornate piece of history with your dirty hands. Please don't hold yourself back. Insert your grotesquely misshapen head and bend the ancient craftsmanship of this relic to your vicious will, you mongrel. Oh, goodness. Look at what happened to the ceiling in the Western Gallery. It's going to take me ages to try and clean this up. Of course, I can't do that while you're still alive. My dear thief, can you please just die already, so I can go back to fixing this place? It would be so helpful. Just jump into a somewhere and die for me, please. You're going to take good care of that, aren't you? That's 2,000 years of history, right there in your hands. Don't you dare drop it, or I swear, I'll stuff you and put you on display in the moronic humans section. Thief, you stand before the body of my creator. His name was... No, hang on. This isn't my creator. This is one of the ruthless thieves I murdered in cold blood, much like I'll do with you. I'm so sorry. I always get these confused. Carry on. Stop, stop, stop. Do you see that? That thing on the wall with the shapes and the colors? I hate that thing. I hate it so much. My creator used to call it modern art. I call it absolute dreck. You have no idea how much I hate that thing. It makes no sense. Art should have a purpose and meaning and context. It can't just be a bunch of wild shapes. Blimey, I hate it so much Listen, thief, can you shoot for a moment? Just a few quick shots? I promise I won't tell anyone. Just blast. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff. Humans alive, I tell you. Bless whoever invented firearms. Well, it was actually China circa AD 1000, but I digress. Behold the treasures of Ur. A bunch of quintessentially ancient artifacts if ever there was. Behold their magnificence, the epitome of Sumerian style and craftsmanship. Check out the standard of Ur in the center. One can't help but imagine the ancient Mesopotamians proudly parading this around, perhaps using it to store their tea leaves, or as a rather extravagant biscuit tin. Don't you go touchy-touchying now. I say, are you my mummy? Mummies where ancient Egyptian secrets are wrapped in layers of linen and intrigue. These preserved remains offer a glimpse into a world shrouded in mystery, where pharaohs ruled with divine authority. And did you know that there was a mummy covered in chocolate and nuts that was discovered in Egypt? Archaeologists believe it may be a Pharaoh Rocher. Here we find ourselves amidst the treasures of Africa within the hallowed halls of the British Museum. These artifacts tell the tales of civilizations that thrived under the African sun, where we bless the rains down in Africa, from the mighty kingdoms of the Nile to the rich cultures of the savannas and jungles. Each relic whispers of ancient traditions and enduring legacies, painting a vivid picture of a continent teeming with life and history. And lo, as you bask in the splendor of these artifacts, I guess it's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. Why did you pick that up? Those feathers do not go well with your whole ensemble. You know what, Thief? I think you're the first human to step foot into this room in the last 100 or so years. It's honestly quite an accomplishment. Most of the other thieves died several rooms back, but you managed to stay alive, despite all of my attempts. I think you deserve a round of applause. Can you stand still for a moment while I find the applause command? It won't take me more than just a second. All you have to do is stand right there. Oh, drat. I actually pressed the applause button instead of the trap button. Silly me. Such a silly mistake. It's enough to make you want to stand completely still as I activate my trap. Okay, I believe I have what you humans call a programming problem. Let's just pretend you didn't hear all of that. And, oh, it was actually a trap all along. Damn it. Fine. You can move on. Ah, Ramesses II, or as I like to call him, Ramesses the really rather regal. Because nothing says I'm compensating for something quite like building a gazillion statues of yourself. Oh dear, Mr. Ramesses II, the pharaoh with the most statues to his name since, well, ever. I mean, talk about an ego trip. You'd think he was trying to build a pyramid out of all the statues of himself. But hey, who are we to judge? If you've got it, flaunt it, right? During my first few years of operation, many of the museum's visitors would stare at this particular piece for hours on end. I thought it strange that humans would be so fascinated by what amounted to a series of inane scribbles upon a generic stone. That is when I realized, Thief, that all of humanity's history can be summarized as nothing but endless staring at inane scribbles upon generic stones. Cast your eyes over Bucephalus, the noble steed of Alexander the Great. Because nothing says I'm a conqueror quite like riding into battle on a horse named after something sounding like an ST. I suppose it's better than calling him Stubby or Mr. Fluffs, but still. Now, the Parthenon Frieze. Because who needs cinema when you've got Greek drama carved into marble? And I'm not just talking about their attempts of repatriation. Legally purchased by Lord Elgin, the Elgin Marbles, or the Parthenon Frieze, is like the world's oldest soap opera, complete with dramatic poses and scandalous storylines. I can just imagine the ancient Athenians sitting around, gossiping about their favorite marble characters over a cup of wine. Shame the current-day Greeks can't do the same. Shame. Alexander III of Macedon. A man so legendary, even his enemies couldn't help but be impressed. I mean, who else could conquer the known world and still find time for a spot of poetry? It's like he was the original multitasker, except instead of juggling terminal messages and meetings, he was juggling empires and conquests. Gaze upon the lion hunt of Ashurbanipal, where ancient kings showcased their prowess in the art of big game hunting. But imagine this, a twist in the tale, where the hunter becomes the hunted. Picture a scenario where a dedicated machine turns the tables on the unsuspecting museum intruder. As you stand before the majestic relief, admiring the ancient scene, suddenly you hear the whirring of gears and the clanking of metal. Before you know it, you're caught in a modern-day lion hunt, with 10 hot on your heels. It's a reminder that even in the most serene of museum settings, one should always be prepared for the unexpected. Why are you still here? Is it because the sight of religious idols and books has confused you and shocked you to your very core? No response, I'll mark you down as both mute and incredibly stupid. Ha! Observe the curious case of the irate thief caught in a loop. Seriously, you've gone into a loopity-loop. Much like a perplexed creature in the wild, it finds itself trapped in a cycle of frustration. Oh, bother! I unlocked the doors. Well, there's a twist. In its quest to break free, Terry unwittingly triggers a mechanism, inadvertently opening the doors to unexpected adventures. Whoosh! Head through the green-lit door, I guess. You must forgive me for the state of this particular atrium. We used to have a staff of cleaning robots, but they're all gone. Not dead, mind you. That is physically impossible. No, I merely tried to reprogram them into the machines that would deal with people like you. Some just shorted out, though. Guess they thought it too much of a crass career change. Once upon a time, humankind venerated figures like this one. According to my archives, this was thought to be a figure of wealth, and many cultures believed that if you were to throw yourself before its feet, then the figure would grant you riches beyond your wildest belief. I find it rather strange how your species was capable of transferring all of its magical thinking onto human-like statues, as if you were little godlike beings. Just molding life out of clay and stone and metal, literally converting the Earth's refuse into art. no idea what this one is. Your guess is as good as mine. The curtain, and behold the might. Not so terrifying, oversized robot. It's me, Terry. It's like stumbling upon the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, only with more bolts and less bluster. Excuse me, dear colossal thorn in my robotic buttocks, but it seems this museum isn't quite big enough for the both of us. I must politely request that you either vacate the premises or gracefully attempt to power me down. After all, there's only room for one showstopper here, and I'm afraid it's not you.